I have been playing Pokemon Go for exactly 1 month. Well, actually, 1 month and like 2 days at this point. And I wanted to talk about what it's like as a brand new player picking up Pokemon Go in 2026, how the events have gone that I've played in, a little bit of a review of my account, and also just Pokemon Go in general. So, if you don't know who I am, my name is May, and I make videos about plants and Pokemon. An interesting mix, I understand, and recently it's been mostly Pokemon. However, I've really enjoyed picking up Pokemon since I moved to this new house. I moved here in February, and in the month of February, I did lots and lots of setup and set up my plants. However, I then was kind of browsing YouTube, if you will, and I stumbled upon a few Pokemon Go videos. And I remembered having Pokemon Go from over a year ago, and so I thought I would log back into my account and see where I'd left off. Well, I didn't leave it in a great state. I think I played it for probably 3 hours last year. I just didn't get into it. However, in this new place with lovely scenery, great weather, and the fact that I am here alone in this new house meant that I wanted something that would get me outside. And I thought that Pokemon Go might be the perfect excuse for that. I am somebody that's played Pokemon my entire life. The first game I played was Pokemon Platinum, the first game I finished, I should say, was Pokemon Platinum. I enjoyed it no end, and ever since then, I've been a big Pokemon fan. A couple years, last year and the year before, I got really into opening Pokemon cards, Pokemon card packs. You can find all those videos as shorts on my channel, I'm pretty sure. So you know that I am an absolute Pokemon fan, but Pokemon Go just kind of missed me. I just never really picked it up until about a month ago. So I'm going to bring my screen up and go through my account the way it is right now. You can see here that I am at level 44. I have done 192 kilometers of walking. I've caught 4,948 Pokemon. I visited 3,378 Pokestops, and I have 6.6 million XP. And you can see there the start date was the 7th of May last year, 2025. I think I have a Pokemon. I can remember. I have one Pokemon from that time, and I'll make sure to show you. But yeah, that's what I've been doing since 1 month ago. Okay. Now, I want to talk about all the different parts that are coming up in this video. And if I can work it out, I'm going to put all of the different categories. So if this isn't your kind of video, this is just going to be a very talky video. If that's not your kind of video, then I totally understand. Absolutely leave right now, because it's going to be me talking for a long time. But if you're interested about the opinion of a brand new player, then stick around. It really all started with the Kalos Tour. So the Kalos Tour I thought was a really great event, especially as a new player. It was really awesome to see. It was really awesome to have the Go Pass that you could complete. I'm definitely a completionist, so for me, having the next thing and the next thing and the next thing was a really great event. And what I really enjoyed was that it was a great way to go and meet other Pokemon players, other people in the Pokemon community during those event times. So it didn't take me too long to find Campfire, and after I found Campfire, I found a meetup in my local area. And during the Kalos Tour Saturday or Sunday event on that weekend, I went and joined some raids. As a new player, I didn't really understand raiding. I didn't quite understand how it worked entirely, but you obviously get a free raid pass. And I must have either had some raid passes from somewhere before or already had purchased some the last time I played the game, because I managed to do 3 raids. I got 2 Xerneases and 1 Yveltal. And I can tell you that catching the legendaries is really a rush as a new player, and I felt a little bit out of place at my local group, because to most they were so used to the game that I was kind of overexcited, if that makes sense, and really happy with what I got. So I got 2 Xerneases, 1 Yveltal, and 2 of them have the background. So this is my Xerneas with the background, and this is my Yveltal with the background. And I was really excited about that. And I would say that it was the Kalos Tour that kind of sparked that initial enjoyment of the game far further than what I thought it was before, which is just walking around and catching Pokemon in the wild. I was very, very interested to find out that there was these kind of milestones. And as I said, I'm a completionist, so I'm going to want to do that. So one of the investments that I did make in this short period of time was the Go Plus Plus. After the Kalos tour had finished, I realized going into the 30th anniversary that having a auto catcher, but more importantly for me a little bit was an auto Pokestop spinner, would be really, really important. It would just help me to speed up XP progression, collecting Stardust, having Pokemon, shiny odds, 100 words from the wild, because I'm not that quick at catching. I can quick catch, but I don't have the years of experience doing it. And so for me, having the auto catcher, especially it being the Go Plus Plus, was something I was super excited about. I had it on the whole time through the All Out event, which I'm about to talk about. But I think that it's a really, really worthwhile purchase, in my personal opinion. I really, really like it. On that topic, I do have a reward that I can claim that I want to set up with you right now. I've been waiting to do this on finding the right moment to do this. And what I need to do is choose one more Pokemon to be caught with the Go Plus Plus itself. And I think that I want to do that. And that might get me my encounter with the Nightcap Snorlax. And then we have to cross our fingers for shiny odds. So let's hope that we can, at some point, identify a Pokemon. Here we go. And if I press it, now we've done our catch, and that should, I think, fix our... And there we go. Now the quest has been completed. So if I go to my special research and I go to catching some Z's, I should now have completed the event. I should now have completed the first page. So if I do claim reward, we didn't get the shiny. Oh, that's such a shame that we didn't get the shiny on the Snorlax, but I'm so happy to finally have this guy. Okay, we're going to do the circle lock, and we're going to throw a Raz at this guy, and we're going to catch it in a Ultra Ball, because why not? Oh, I don't think it will attack, actually. So let's just see if we can get an excellent throw. Okay, I'm getting better at my excellent throws. I've been practicing them a lot. There we go. We now officially have the Nightcap Snorlax. That's going to be a complete favorite and something I'll keep for a long, long time. So let me just rename it. I have been using a little bit of Unicode keyboards in order to do a lot of naming here. And we're going to put a little heart next to my Nightcap Snorlax so that I never get rid of him ever. So yeah, that's one of the things that I enjoyed when it came to the Go Plus Plus, was that it came with an encounter that was pretty rare, and also that it helps with things like hearts, buddy hearts. It gives you a little bit of Stardust every single day if you get enough sleep. So that was quite nice. The only thing I wish with the Go Plus Plus is that you could turn off the Pikachu singing to you when you turn it on. That's just a bit weird, but I'm fine with it for every other reason. And I've had very few issues with it. I've had the occasional disconnect. I've had the occasional problem, but I'm really, really, really happy with my purchase. The main way I use this, honestly, is for restocking my item bag. Where I live is pretty sparse when it comes to Pokestops, and there's none in range of my house. So if I'm driving around, I find it very useful to just turn the Go Plus Plus on and have it spin Pokestops, and then I'll just drive for a while and it will fill up my Pokemon bag or my item bag, which is pretty useful. The auto catching I use a lot less. It's definitely useful if I'm going after a specific task to have it auto catch. But for me, it's definitely used less for auto catching and a lot more for auto spinning. Of course, I learned things even as much as yesterday when it came to the water research day, to not let it auto spin Pokestops on that day, because it was removing some of the Pokestops that I could spin for the research. So, you have to learn these things. But overall, I'm really, really happy that I bought this. The only thing for me that I wouldn't say I'm worried about, but is the vibration noise and the bright light. They're incredibly bright and incredibly loud. So I don't particularly want to mod it. It's not something that I wish to do, but I might have to in order to potentially mod it so that it has like a switch to turn the vibration on and off, for example. Because otherwise it just gets incredibly annoying sometimes. And it goes from being something that can help you, and it can be maybe like a little bit covert. You could leave it in your pocket while you're out with your friends in, at a restaurant, and suddenly it's flashing and buzzing in your pocket. It would be nice if it could just be an option, and to turn off the buzzing, and then you could just literally have it in your pocket all evening while you're with your friends, and you're kind of doing some Pokemon Go work in the background. But nonetheless, I am super happy that I managed to purchase it. The people I raid with suddenly started having issues with stock levels. So I think I managed to get it like right on time because I had no issues with stock levels. So I'm pretty happy with it. But as I say, it's just the buzzing and the bright light that is a little bit annoying. I then, of course, stumbled into the 30th anniversary event that happened directly after the Kalos tour, and the 30th anniversary event was the first deluxe ticket that I ever purchased. I purchased a deluxe pass for the 30th anniversary because really I knew that I needed to catch up, but also I wanted to make sure that I had everything possible going for me in order as a new player, it makes sense for me to have every single option available for what I was doing. I didn't have a lot of bag space. I didn't have a lot of experience. I'm still not very good at hitting excellent throws. So I needed to learn a lot. I needed to catch up a lot. And I was super excited, especially about the 30th anniversary all out event, which seemed like a great event, again, especially for a new player. So it's a little bit difficult for me to show these without spoiling some of what happened in the All Out event, but during the 30th anniversary event, I managed to complete not only all of the past tasks, but I also joined another few raids on Wednesday night during that first 30th anniversary, and I managed to pick up my first of the legendary birds. In one evening, luckily, I managed to get one of each of the birds, and I was super excited about that. I did, however, lose two Articunos in that evening, and I think that was the first time I contended with the idea that if you do a legendary raid, you're not guaranteed to catch the legendary Pokemon. And I must say I walked away that evening kind of frustrated, simply because that was kind of the first time I had to learn that. I had pretty good luck every other time, and that was the first time where we completed the raid. I had a number of Premier Balls to do it. I was using Golden Raz, but I still didn't get the bird. And that was definitely something that was relatively annoying for me. But I realized that that's just part of playing Pokemon Go. I just hadn't experienced it before. And now I understand. And that was really, I guess, what prompted me to want to play a little bit more seriously, and wanted to learn things like the circle lock method to just make sure that I have the best luck every time of catching any legendaries that I raid for. Now, you have to excuse me a little bit because I don't know where the hat-based Pikachus came in, but as someone that's a bit of a completionist, I am absolutely excited about the different hats and costumes that all the different Pokemon potentially wear. And during the time, I made sure to get a few costume hat Pikachus. I don't know specifically the order in which I got them, but I got a number of different Pikachus with hats, as well as my favorite of all time, which is what I've referred to as Platinum Pika. As I said, the very first Pikachu game that I played was Pokemon Platinum. So for me, getting the Platinum hat for the female character was a really, really awesome thing to have, and something I'll probably keep for a while. Could it have been shiny? Yes, but I'll get on to shinies a little bit later, but I'm definitely super excited. So for me, 30th anniversary, that week before the All Out event, was mostly just getting used to the game again, doing as much as I possibly could in terms of catching points. and also preparing myself for what was maybe the biggest weekend I've had so far in Pokemon Go. So then the All Out event came along, and I, for one, was massively excited. I was so excited, in fact, that I decided to start really filming my Pokemon Go kind of efforts, and also to use the All Out event as a way to walk maybe the longest distance I've walked in one weekend so far for Pokemon Go. I really, really enjoyed the fact that the legendaries were spawning in the wild. That made it really interesting for me, especially as a new character that didn't have any of the legendaries that everybody was using. For example, I don't have an origin form Palkia to use spatial rend on. I don't have mega evolutions of Pokemon to make raids easier. I have a very select number of Pokemon, and this was a great event to allow me to expand potentially what the legendaries are that everybody uses. For example, White Kyurem for the frost effect to make things easier to catch. I don't have access. I don't have a Kyurem or a Reshiram, so it's very, very difficult for me, but this was potentially the chance where I could get something. So if we look at my legendaries, I've sorted them by recent here. The very first legendary I caught during that day was Raikou. I caught it last minute. It was a bad throw. I didn't think it would happen, but I managed to get myself a Raikou. I'm incredibly happy about that. It kind of on that weekend proved that it was possible to catch legendary Pokemon. I'd lost a lot of Pokemon before then. Rayquaza, Regice, Regieleki, Regidrago, all of these different legendaries popped up and I just missed them. But then I managed to get myself a Raikou. Is it any good? Absolutely not. It's a terrible IV version of a legendary, but at least I had one. And that I think really helped me to commit a lot more. And then it kind of paid off. So there is a video on this on the channel of me playing that weekend. It's not covered very well because I was kind of new to filming Pokemon Go content, but in general, I was pretty happy and I followed it up with an Articuno. This would be my third Articuno, which I kind of enjoyed. And again, it's a no-star legendary, so there's nothing to really write home about. The Sunday, however, was a day where I caught more legendaries, and I was really happy with what I caught. The first one being the Galarian Zapdos. Okay, Galarian Zapdos is, I think, a big chase for a lot of people, especially catching them off of incense. So to get the Galarian Zapdos, which is known to run and flee a lot, I was super excited. I then followed that up by a Groudon, which to me just was awesome. It was an absolutely spare of the moment shock to catch a Groudon. Again, bad throw. I'd run out of golden raspberries by this point. It was interesting to say the least. I think I screamed out loud. Then I caught a Galarian Moltres, which I think I was ready to pass out at this point. And the final catch for the day was a Zamazenta. Now, none of these have very good IVs. None of them are versions of the legendaries that I would want if I could choose. But just the idea of now having them just makes things like raids, team rocket battles, gym fights, everything like that easier for me because I now have some high CP, high damage legendaries to use in raids, and I felt a lot better about that. Now, one other thing happened in this sort of 30th anniversary all-out Kalos Tour kind of time, and that was the Mega Dragonite, Mega Malamar, and Mega Weeping Bell event. This was, again, one of the times when I went to my local raid group or my Pokemon Go meetup group, and I managed to do a couple of raids. I didn't do anything crazy. I think I did 2 of each, something like that. But I did walk away with some Pokemon that I'm relatively happy about. The first one here we have is my Dragonite. I've marked it with a little heart on there because I like it. And this was the very first one that I got. Its IVs are pretty good. I think this is a 90 something percent. It's not amazing. It's not a hundo. It's not a shundo, but it does have the background. And then I did also get a Malamar. This one didn't come with the background, but its IVs are relatively good. And I didn't do any of the Weeping Bell raids. I didn't raid at all for Weeping Bell. But I'm also not really worried about that, to be honest. I think that the Mega of Weeping Bell is not amazing. But that was really interesting because that was when I first started doing remote raids. I don't think I'd ever remote raided for anything before. And I didn't really understand how it worked, but I managed to do 4 remote raids or something like that. And I was pretty excited about doing some remote raids. Again, I got a few runaways. I got just a few moments and times where I had to deal with some frustration of not catching. But in the end, I now have a pretty strong Dragonite that is kind of my staple Mega Evolution if I need to do a raid or something. So I'm pretty happy about that as well. So after the 30th anniversary all out event and me catching as many legendaries as I possibly could, we had a couple of other events that took place. The first one was a Zacian raid hour where I managed to get myself 4 Zacians, no hundos, nothing overly special, but I was able to do a bunch of raids, which I was really happy about. As you can see, this is probably the best one in terms of IV. Unfortunately, with the Zacian raids, and I'm not sure why this happened, but they didn't have it be the crowned form version, so I couldn't get any of the crowned sword energy. But at the end of the day, I still managed to get myself 4 Zacian legendaries, which is again just good for certain raids and things like that, having a little bit of power to back up some of my raids. Between the Zacian raids and after the 30th anniversary event, it was mostly just walking around. But I did claim, of course, my Mewtwo. So my Mewtwo encounter happened. There is a video of my Mewtwo encounter with all of the other encounters as well, like the legendary birds that you got from the deluxe pass. Because as I said, since then I've purchased every deluxe pass. But my Mewtwo encounter came along. The IVs are terrible on this, and it wasn't shiny, but it is good to have Mewtwo in the bag. And I'm really, really relatively excited about if and when Mewtwo comes back, because it would be good to get more than one. The next thing that happened was the Score Bunny Community Day. Again, I made a video on this. This was my very first community day ever, and I'm pretty sad that I started playing Pokemon Go when they removed Spotlight Hour. So for me, community day felt as close to Spotlight Hour as I could possibly get. And this one was, of course, for Score Bunny. So when it came to Score Bunny, I ended up, well, I caught a lot more than 17, but I've kept 17 of them. I have a number of them with the Score Bunny Community Day background. Unfortunately, no shinies with the background, but I did manage to get myself a few shinies. Let's do... here, shiny. I did manage to get myself 6 shinies on that day. This brings up a big topic on shiny luck. For me, my shiny luck has been really low, I would say. As well as my catches have been really difficult. But I think, again, as a new player, it becomes easier the more and more you play. A, you get used to doing excellent throws, but B, you also have a lot of the catch medals, which increase catch rate. I don't have any of the platinum catch medals, so it's quite difficult for me to catch a lot of the Pokemon that I'm raiding for example. The good thing about the Score Bunny Day was that it was really easy to catch everything, so I had a great time. And let's say I managed to walk away with 6 shinies. There really is none here that have incredible stats. The main one that has stats that I would even reference is the one that's almost a Nundo. That's relatively rare to some degree, but it's not a complete Nundo. But I still really enjoyed the Score Bunny Community Day event. I thought that it was really, really nice. And then I managed to evolve one of them into a Cinderace, the one that I thought just had reasonable IVs in order to do the evolution. And I thought that was really, really a good day for me. But that was all that happened on that weekend. The 30th anniversary was over. We were into the new March Pass, which is something that I think is quite interesting. The new pass kind of system. Again, it has this kind of constant progression. But really, I was waiting for Bug Out. So the bug out event then happened, and another deluxe ticket came along for the bug out event. And I was really, really excited to be playing Pokemon Go at the time when there was the first shiny of a certain Pokemon, and also that there was a brand new Pokemon being released into the game in the form of Blipbug. So it was really exciting for me, even though Blipbug itself is not a super awesome Pokemon, it's not a legendary Pokemon, but it was nice to just have been around for something when it first happened for once, and I was super excited for the bug out event. Since that point, I have kept every single blip bug that I have raided for. I've raided for exactly 13 of my I've raided for 13 blip bugs. And again, if I just do a quick appraisal on IVs, I haven't got anything that's incredible. There's nothing that's kind of magically high in IVs, definitely no hundos, but I am super excited. And the main thing I'm excited for right now is to have the 150 candies, which is enough to evolve all the way to Orbeetle, I think it is, which is really awesome. I'm not going to do it yet because I want to wait for a really good blip bug, and I will continue to raid for them. But it's nice to just have been around for the first time something happened, rather than feeling like I'm always far behind. So one of the last things I have to talk about is how many of each type of Pokemon that I have managed to catch in my 1 month of properly playing. So I have some pre-existing search terms that I use very often for this. So the first one is going to be the Shundos. As you can see, I have caught no Shundos. In 1 month, 0 Shundos. I thought yesterday's water event would maybe be the first time I got the Hundo Feebas, but not the Shundos. So still 0 on these Shundos. I'm so annoyed about that, but at least I have something to aim for. The next one that we'll talk about is Hundos. I have 6 Hundos in my storage. I have a Spupa. The Spupa, or the Scatterbug, was the first Hundo I ever got, which is why I am very, very precious of all of my Scatterbugs. I keep every single one of them. The next one that I managed to get was the Rattata. This was caught in the wild. I'm pretty sure this was a auto catcher catch, so I didn't really participate in this, but I was pretty happy to get it and recently evolved it. Then I caught a Bulbasaur that was a Hundo as well. Again, this is probably here we go, caught during field research. So a field research Hundo, I'm definitely not to complain about. And then I evolved it into the Venusaur. This Mareep was caught in the wild. This is something that I don't even think I caught it. I think this is, again, an auto catch. So I've had a lot more luck with Hundos being auto caught than me intentionally catching them. So we recently got the Mareep. Then a Bellsprout. A Bellsprout came just the other day, actually. I was pretty surprised, again, to catch it, but I do think this was me fast catching. I was trying to get a lot of catches in one day. So I think I managed to, again, wild catch this one. And then finally, the Feebas. This I caught yesterday in the water replay research day event. I managed to get this off of the paid ticket, the 10 guaranteed encounters. So I'm really, really happy that I got the 117 that is the Hundo. There is a 117 that I have which isn't the Hundo, so I'm super happy about that. Let me just do this. So we have one, where is it? CP. Yeah, so we have one 117 that isn't the Hundo, and we have one 117 that is the Hundo. So I'm really, really excited to have that one. I'm not evolving it yet, but I did manage to get it. Then we have Shinies. I'm currently sitting at 37 Shinies. 37 Shinies in 1 month of play, I think, is really, really good. A lot of Helioptiles I got, an Eevee I got a long time ago, Voltorbs Unknowns, the unknown L I'm pretty excited about. I hatched this Mantike shiny, which is pretty awesome. A lot of them are Score Bunnies from the Score Bunny Community Day event. I think I just evolved this guy from something, and then the last one that I actually caught before any event was the Rattata, and then the last 8 were caught on the water replay day yesterday, including 2 Feebas, which I'm very, very happy about, as that was my chase shiny. So that's the kind of review of all of the Pokemon that I have since I've been playing for 1 month. So no Shundos yet, but I will absolutely record the first time I get a Shundo. I really hope it's a legendary. That would be awesome. But yeah, that's the review of all of the Pokemon that I have in my Pokemon storage. So one of the things that I want to do right now is to collect everything on the bug out event in one go with a star piece and a lucky egg. And the other thing that I'm going to do is do the same for the Deluxe Pass March. Now for me, the Deluxe Pass March and any other of the Deluxe Passes that happen from now on to the February, March, all the way down to however long I stop playing, I will most likely get, because it kind of helps so much for a new player. Things like the max particles, the timed incubator, the bonuses, like for bug out, it's 3 times catch candy, 2 times catch XP. Even things like the XL candies. But the main thing for me that I think is the best or the best value for me and why I would do it as a paid player, especially as a new paid player, is when you get down to when it gives you all of the extra Stardust. And I'm currently at rank 171. So I haven't managed to completely max out the March Pass yet, but I'm still going to be collecting both of those in this video because I really want to see where we get to. So if I just check any Pokemon here, you can see I'm at 724,000 Stardust. If I hadn't spent any Stardust, and I have spent a good amount, I've probably collected about 1.2 million Stardust, I would say. So when I see people with 19 million, 25 million Stardust, I'm very, very jealous. I would really like to get to over 1 million. I don't think that's going to happen from collecting these 2 pass rewards, but I'm super interested. But nonetheless, it does give you things like extra encounters, which is always good for the Pokedex entries and getting more platinum medals. But things like Pokeballs, lures, raid passes, XL candies, all of these things are super important to a brand new player. And as I've said many times in this video, and I'll say many times in every video, is that I really enjoy progression-based games, and just having something where every day you can chip away at the pass and be able to get one more level, one more rank, rank up each day. It's really, really awesome. And I'm I really like the fact that on the weekends for certain events, so it didn't happen for the March Pass this weekend, but for the bug out event, it was infinite points. I think that's really good because it condenses people's effort towards the weekends, and it's very easy to then set a meetup where you can just walk around and complete the passes. My personal group doesn't do that, but I do want to kind of recommend that we start doing that, because I think it's really good to not only meet for raids, but also just to meet in general. So let's go to items. If we scroll down here, you can see I have lots of star pieces and lots of lucky eggs. So I'm going to do 30 minutes of both of these so that I can collect everything. So just one more time, I'm at 724,000 Stardust. And if I go to my XP here, I am at 6.66 million. So let's see what happens when I collect both of these March Pass rewards. So if I press claim all, it's going to be a bit of a mess, but I've been waiting so long to do this. So let me just double check. I have the star piece on and I have the lucky egg on. So I can now safely claim all of these and the bonuses. We're at 6.6 million, 724,000. Let's press claim all. Yes, I want to claim all. That is so satisfying. I cannot believe that I managed to wait on all of this. It is an unbelievable number of bubbles. That is an obnoxious noise, though. That is, I'm very, very happy about that. The thing is, I'm not going to do all of the catches on this video because it would just take too long, but I'm going to make sure to do this in the next 1 day and 5 hours. Can I say the one I'm the most excited for is the Caesar and Cleavor? Very excited about that. I've always loved Caesar as a Pokemon. I always wanted to use Caesar when I played Pokemon Platinum, but I didn't know anybody that could trade with me, so I was always very sad about that. And then secondly, let's collect all of the rewards from the March Pass to make sure that we have those as well. This is, again, going to be a ton of noise. I apologize. That is a lot of noise, but at the end of that, we have still 27 encounters for the March Pass to go, 22 encounters for the Bug Out to go, and now let's check on the amount of Stardust, 798,000. So that's a good amount. That would be, I'll put it on screen. I'm bad at maths like that. But in general, that is a great amount of Stardust increase. And then if we go to my XP, we're now at 6,797,000. So over 100,000 XP as well. So that was definitely so much fun. I enjoyed collecting that finally. Let's see about some other stuff that we managed to collect. So there was a whole bunch of Pokeballs and stuff in there, a few extra star pieces and lucky eggs, lures. We now have 25 lures, which is pretty good. I'm at 132 premium battle passes. I don't know if I got any incubators or premium incubators, but I do have some XL candies that I'm pretty happy about. So yeah, I am very, very, very happy and will now spend the next 30 minutes getting every single one of the encounters as well. So in conclusion, I'm really, really happy with the fact that I'm now playing Pokemon Go. I really enjoy it. I think it's really fun, not only because it gets me outside, but because it has this progression that keeps pushing me further. I would not have walked 50 kilometers this week, or will have walked because I've got to go out and hit my 50 today. I wouldn't have done that if I wasn't playing Pokemon Go. I enjoy the general process. I enjoy raiding. Are there some things I don't like? Yes, I don't like Max Monday. I don't think that that's worth the payoff. I don't think that the removal of Spotlight Hour made sense. From what people told me, it seems like something that would be a lot more fun to have than the showcases. I don't like the difficulty with catching legendaries as a new player, but I also understand that it has to be that way. I just wish I could have all of them because I'm just a bit of a collector. But I do really enjoy the way that things are sort of rolled out semi-consistently. I'm filming this on a Sunday. Tomorrow is the Regice event on Max Monday, so I'm very happy about that. I'm pretty excited. Then you have the Gigantamax Pikachu's coming up. I think you have more raid hours on Wednesday. I don't know who's in them. Bug Out will finish. The next thing will start. Like, there's a lot that goes on, which I really enjoy, and something that I'm really excited to just continue to explore. So as a brand new player, 1 month into really selectively playing, I'm really, really, really happy. Before I go, there is just one last thing that I want to show you, and that is one Pokemon that I have had the longest in my account. I was recently looking through recents, and I remembered this Pokemon. So this is my shiny Muna. I actually 100% need to rename this to have the heart as well, because I will never get rid of this Muna. But this is a Muna that, as you can see, was caught one day after my account finished on the 8th of May 2025. That also happens to be my birthday. So clearly I was playing on my birthday and I managed to get this shiny Muna. So I am super excited to still have it. And I think that's pretty much the only Pokemon that I even remember vaguely catching back all that time ago. So that is how old my account is. But I've only really been playing for 1 month, truly. So I do have one Pokemon from all that time ago, but I definitely didn't truly play the game. So, I have a shiny to keep forever, but yeah, it absolutely has been the last month where I've really started playing. I've really, really enjoyed it. I'm going to continue playing. It's something that I'm not going to stop doing, especially as the weather gets better and the weather gets warmer. I think it's going to be really, really awesome to be able to get out there all the time and to be not only playing the game, but also making videos. I've really enjoyed that as well. So that is my review of Pokemon Go as a new player 1 month in. Technically, right? I understand my account is older than that, but 1 month of playing since Kalos Tour, and I've had a really, really great time. What do I wish for as we move forward? I wish that they bring back Origin Palkia. They don't have to bring back Origin Dialga, but if they bring back Origin Palkia so that I can have Spatial Rend, I'm going to cry and love that forever. If they bring back Crown Form Zacian and Crown Form Zamazenta, I will also be extremely happy. And if I can catch myself a Rayquaza, I will also be very happy. And finally, I really, really want them to bring back the legendary spawn in the wild. I think I said it in the video that was the review of the 30th anniversary Fallout, or at the end of the 30th anniversary All Out event, is that having the legendary spawn in the wild, I think, is a really great feature. Even if they 10x, 20x the rarity, it's fun to see Pokemon spawn in the wild, but the idea that it could be a legendary spawn, to me, is really, really interesting. And I really hope that they make it like even if it was 50 times rarer or something silly like that, that legendaries could continue to still spawn in the wild. I really think that would be great. I think that'd be awesome. I would love that. But nonetheless, I'm going to continue to play. I love Pokemon Go. It's a really, really fun game. I can't believe that it took me this long to start playing, but I'm really happy that I have played. I have so much catching up to do, but I intend to catch up over time. And yeah, thank you very much for watching or listening to me rant about what it's like to be a 1 month in player. I will be doing everything I can to keep up and make videos and enjoy them. But yeah, really, really fun, enjoyable, and yeah, I loved it. So yeah, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video, which might be the Regice Max Monday. Okay, bye.